Hello everyone, my name is ISHWARYA Ramanathan. I am an IAS officer and I secured All India rank 47 in the UPSC 2019 Civil Services examination. In this video, I will share my preparation journey and I hope it will be very useful for all those aspirants and students who are thinking of taking civil services as a career choice. Let's start the video with the presentation.
So let's start the presentation. This is a brief introduction about myself. I did my graduation in BE Civil Engineering and my optional subject was sociology. In my first attempt, I secured All India rank 630, in which I got Indian Railways Account Service. And in my second attempt, I secured All India rank 47 and I got IAS and my home cadre Tamil Nadu. Currently, I am posted as Assistant Collector and a training in Vellore district. So, talking about my IAS dream, it was actually a childhood dream. My mother told me that she wanted me to become an IAS officer. At that time, I didn't realize the meaning behind the word or the amount of responsibility it holds. So, my mother was one of the strong reasons for me to choose IAS. And the other thing was my native district. My native district is Kadalur, Tamil Nadu. It is a coastal district in the state of Tamil Nadu, and it's always subjected to many disasters like floods, cyclones, and heavy rainfall. And this time it was the 2004 tsunami disaster. And over 8,000 people lost their lives in Tamil Nadu to these giant waves, and Kadlur was also hardly hit. It was an unprecedented disaster for everyone around the world. And in Kadlur, our district collector was Mr. Gagandeep Singh Bedi, IAS. He was a very young and dynamic officer who rose to the situation and came to the field and dealt with all the problems in a very swift manner. And people still remember him for the service he's done to the district and its people. He also took immediate measures like going for mass burial, controlling the situations, and also many long term measures like building houses for those families who lost their belongings in tsunami. So people of Kadalur still remember Mr. Gagandeep Singh Bedi IAS as a savior, and everyone relate to him as an IAS or collector. So being a very young school going student at that time, I took Mr. Gagandeep Singh Bedi IAS as my role model and inspiration, with whom I wanted to become like Mr. Gagandeep Singh Bedi. So this was my motivation, and I wanted to become like him. And I also wanted to take the lead in any crisis management. That is why I chose IAS. And today Mr. Gagandeep Singh Bedi is considered as the mascot of disaster management, and currently he is leading the COVID crisis management in Chennai. So yeah, I've decided on my goal as IAS, and I'm 100% sure that I want to become an IAS, and I started to fix my goal. So this is us in a very young age deciding what we wanted to be, and this is me here, Aishwarya IAS, with a bar on that because we are going to pursue it. And timeline, I did my schooling in Kadalur, graduation in IST Chennai. I graduated in 2017, and I kind of started my preparation during college because I was quite sure that I wanted to become an IAS officer and I should be taking some steps towards that direction. So during my college, during the second year, I started doing some basic awareness and researching about UPSC, just searching in the Google like how to become, and started getting acquainted with the syllabus and the book list and all. And after coming to know that NCRTs and newspaper are very important, I started reading newspapers and NCRTs at a very early stage. But then, like every other aspirant, I didn't understand anything in the newspapers, but NCRTs was very good and fun to learn. In newspapers, I just tried to read the headlines and try to understand what is going on. This was what I did during my second year and third year to just remain in touch with the UPSC preparation. I also attended many free coaching classes which were conducted inside the campus of Anna University and also other coaching institutes in and around of Chennai. And another important thing was I watched many toppers' videos and their answer papers, like how they dealt with and what mistakes they made and what mistakes we should not make, and all those things. I was kind of preparing myself to enter into the preparation all these years in the college. And I was also deciding on my optional. I had circled 3 to 4 subjects to be my optional, and I finally decided on sociology when I was in my college after seeing the syllabus, previous year question papers, and the book list. So this is using all the opportunities. Um, in Anna University, there is a civil services club where they conduct free coaching classes every weekend, and where teachers from outside academies would come in and teach the syllabus. So I ardently followed all those classes. And there is another important humanitarian academy in Chennai, which is the Manithanayam IAS Academy, run by Chairman Mr. Saide Durai sir. And he guided us in all possible ways by giving us motivation material and all possible facilities. So this was a very good academy in Chennai, and I strongly suggest that all those aspirants who are in Chennai and who wants to get an introduction and a start to IAS preparation but don't have the financial resources to do so should start their preparation journey with Manithanayam IAS Academy. And the second one was All India Civil Services Coaching Center. This is also in Chennai, and this is a state government run academy which gives us free accommodation, boarding, and food also, provided with classrooms, library, Wi-Fi, and all facilities. But we have an entrance exam to clear. So aspirants can very well visit the All India Civil Service Coaching Center website to know their progress. So I'm sure that all the states in India will have one or other academies like these, state-run or other humanitarian-run academies like this. So it is the duty of aspirants who feel that they don't have enough facilities to stay in the cities and read to search all these academies and get in touch with them and find a place for you to stay and start your preparation. This would greatly help your preparation. Trust me, this research thing which you are going to do before preparation will be very helpful for you when you do the actual preparation. And when I started my preparation, so this is one motivational quote poster which my friend gifted me. Work hard until the lamplight of your study table becomes spotlight of stage. So this work hard until lamplight was where I correlated it very much because we used to do a lot of night studies. So getting ready for my first attempt. So my first attempt, I gave my prelims on 3rd of June 2018. So I actually did my graduation in March 2017, and I thought of giving my first attempt only after a full 1 year preparation, and not during the final year of my college, because first attempt is very precious and you have to take a lot of caution before giving the first attempt. So I wanted to give a full-fledged preparation from June 2017 to June 2018. So this was the timeline. So initial 4 months and 5 months, I got accustomed with the portions, the massive portions, mainly the book list, reading them again and again. And after this, when December was nearing, I started switching on to a test series, prelims test series, so that I am able to know how much marks I'm getting and how much marks I will expect in my prelims. And most usually in my test series, I used to be border somewhere around 90 marks to 110 marks. This was my standard deviation. So this is where I used to get most of my marks ranges. So I checked myself with the test series. And the months preceding June, the last 3-4 months are extremely nerve-wracking, and you have to do your preparation with utmost sincerity, where our study hours will range from 8 to 10 hours a day. Next, approaching mains and optionals. Since I was very new to UPSC preparation and I didn't have a proper guidance, like in the form of seniors and all, I didn't know when to start my mains preparation and options preparation. So the entire 1 year, I was completely focused on my prelims preparation. I somehow touched my main syllabus and optional syllabus little bit, but I was not completely sure. So after clearing my prelims exam, I had only 3 months to complete my mains exam, mains portions and optionals portions. syllabus. So I was crunching my maximum syllabus in a minimum time span of only 3 months. So this led to a great amount of stress and fear in my mind. And I was also constantly figuring out different approaches, like how to go about, should I write in points or paragraphs? Should I be writing in complete 3 4 paragraphs, or should I just go for 10 points? So I was figuring out all these different approaches, and one effective way to figure out all these approaches would be to go for mains test series. So, and you can evolve your own style and strategy. Yeah, a lot of portions was left to be covered, and then this exam hall stress also came in, where when mains exam is so stressful because we have to write a lot of things in just 3 hours, and the time to keep the time limit was also very difficult for me. Me being a slow writer, I found it very difficult to complete the answer paper, and when I came out of the exam hall, I saw my finger very much stressed and shortened. So I cleared my mains completely. In my first interview, same thing. I was again very nervous and extremely reserved. My first attempt, I was very shy and I was quite unsure whether I will clear it or not. So in my interview was also in the same way. I did not perform very well. I did not deliver my full potential, and so the interview was not that interesting, and it was quite boring, and it was in the lines of question and answer session. The interviewer was like, what do you know about model code of conduct? Do you know what is model code of conduct, and that and all? So it was very basic questions, and the interview was not that, my interview did not go that well. So in my final result, first attempt, I secured All India rank 630, and I was extremely happy about that. I still remember the moment when I saw the results, and this is a screenshot of my final result. And I got Indian Railway Account Service. Yeah. This is Life in Railways. We did our foundation course of 3 months in National Academy of Indian Railways, Vadodara, Gujarat. It was a really fun-filled and learning period in my life, because getting to know a lot of people from all over India, and learning new things about the massive structure that Indian Railways it is, and a lot of extracurricular activities was also a very good period in my life. And this is our centralized training institute for IRAs. This is Indian Railway Institute of Financial Management in Secunderabad. And here, this is where I did my interview preparation. It's for my second attempt. Right after clearing the second attempt's prelims, I skipped Labasna FC and started preparing for mains exam. And this time I was so sure that my mains exam should be more scoring and should not be along the lines of clearing in the border or just pass category. So I wanted my mains exam to give me a lot of score and comfort to get IAS. So I started refining a strategy for my answer writing. And honestly, at that time, people were following the topper's answer writing blindly. Whether it suited them or not, everyone started following the answer writing very blindly. I remember one such topper's answer paper had only points with arrow marks pointing out very important key points. So that amount of answer writing requires a lot of knowledge and a lot of practice by concising it into short points, which was not my style, because I have to write an answer in proper paragraph. I have to explain my stand, then only I'll feel comfortable. But I saw everyone copying the answer style of the topper paper, but I was not quite used to it. So I started evolving my own answer writing, and I found toppers with my similar answer writing paper, and I kind of tweaked it for myself. So I came up with my standard of writing. Introduction will consist 3 lines, and the body of the answer will consist of 10 points, where I will address what the question has demanded, and in my conclusion I give 3 points. And I covered my options better than previous attempt, because this being second attempt, I found out the areas where I should focus more. And this time I took interview very seriously, and I gave it after a lot of practice. I practiced with my colleagues. They kept on asking questions. And those who are going for interview this time also, you should practice a lot before going to interview. and hence I approached interview with a lot of confidence. And even though our interview was held during the times of COVID, so we were wearing those surgical mask and N95 mask, and over that we wore face shield and gloves and all those. So this was very suffocating, and the same thing, the panel members were also wearing the same, and we were not able to hear the questions they asked. So we should listen to them constant keenly, and I started answering in a very loud voice. So this was all I did in my interview, and I secured very good in my interview. And in my second attempt, I got All India rank 47. This is my snapshot of the final result. I couldn't believe my eyes that time. We were extremely happy. And yeah, this is my scorecard. This is in my first attempt. I secured this, and in my second attempt, as you can see, in my essay, I secured very less in my first attempt. In my second attempt, I worked on essay. I practiced and I wrote double the amount of essays which I wrote in my first attempt. And I kind of maintained my strategy for GS1, and even more, I refined it. I started notes making for my second attempt, which I didn't make in my first attempt. In my first attempt, I was just studying. I went to the exam hall, and whatever they asked, I used my existing knowledge and I wrote the answer. In my second attempt, I started making notes. Whatever the article comes in newspaper, I used to take 5 points. I'll make 5 points out of it, and I will produce the same 5 points in my answers. So optionals also I followed the same strategy. And in my personality test, as you can see, 160 to 187 made this difference with a lot of practice. This is my Labasna days, finally. And there we got into a lot of extracurricular activities. This is me trying to learn archery, and I still remember us as OTs enjoying the snowfall very much. This is our Himalayan trek for 7 days, and cultural programs, river rafting, and this is my painting of my dream place, Labasna. And this is my field training, currently posted as Assistant Collector, Vellore District. And this, me finally meeting my role model, Mr. Gagandeep Singh Bedi IAS, I was full on fangirl moment, and I remember being very nervous, and my batchmates told the entire story for me to Bedi sir. We met Bedi sir after clearing the exams in Chennai, and this is my favorite quote. The world's toughest battles don't always go to the strongest or the fastest man. Sooner or later, the one who wins is the one who thinks he can. This is what I did. I strongly believe that I can become an IAS officer when not much of a people believed that I could become an IAS officer. I had people mocking me say at my face saying, "Are you really going to become an IAS officer? Or why can't you try for other exams, and should you directly go for IAS exam?" And a lot of that. And I overcame all that with my dream to become an IAS officer, and the strength and support of my family members, and finally the hard work and persistence from our own side. And I sincerely hope that everyone and anyone can become an IAS officer if you have your direction fixed, and if you're ready to put that amount of hard work, then nobody is going to stop you from becoming whatever you have envisioned. Thank you.